Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to introduce our two advanced students. As usual, we have Pablo and Sebas. Pablo, how are you today?
Excellent teacher and you.
Great, thanks. Today we have an interesting concept to discuss, which is about emotions. Sebas, hello, how are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm excellent. Thank you.
Very good, gentlemen. Thank you for your presence, for your attendance. Today, we're going to discuss an incredibly interesting topic, and that is the topic of emotions. What are emotions? How do we handle emotions? What is your concept of emotions, Pablo? How do you define emotions? What is an emotion?
Well, I think that an emotion is a feeling that each person feel, of course, but depend of the situation, it could be very strong or very, mm, yeah, very strong or very similar to other feelings. But I think that the well, my concept of this word, it has to be more expensive because it's something that we are crossing every day and something that we have to be in control every day because if you fall in an emotion that is not good for you, that is going to cause you too many problems.
So you're suggesting that we should control our emotions. We should put a limit to our emotions.
Yes, of course, depend of the situation. Of course, if it is a bad emotion, of course that you have to put a limit because if you don't put a limit, that is going to cause you, I don't know how many problems you are going to have. But if you have a bad feeling, a good feedback in what are you doing with your positive emotions, that is going to cause you so much benefits.
Very interesting. Okay, Pablo, thank you very much. What about you, Sebas? What are the most important emotions that humans have? In your opinion, which are the most important emotions that humans have? Really, not only humans, but also animals have some of the same emotions. Not all of them, but it's part of our nature.
I think it's the enjoyment, the surprise, and the anger and the fear. I think they are the most important.
Emotions. Okay. What is fear? What is fear? How do we react when you see a tiger, when you see, obviously, there are no phantoms, at least not in the school. um, how do you react when you have fear? Why do we have fear? Is it useful? Is it necessary to have fear or not?
Well, it's good. It's good to have fear because we know when we are in danger. Well, in this example of if we see a tiger, we run or we try something. I don't know. We get a lot of fear.
Do you think that some hormones are segregated by our body to defend us from this danger? For instance, you see a threat, a car is approaching very fast, and you need to jump. A tiger went off the cage, you went to the zoo, but you noticed that somebody left the door of the cage open, so the tiger went loose, and you see, oh, the tiger's loose. So you segregate adrenaline, and you're able to run and hide yourself, maybe climb a tree. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you think that there is a biological reaction following the fear, the generation of fear?
Obviously, it's a biological reaction, teacher. Because we try to save us. We try all of things to that can save our lives. I think it's a very normal reaction.
Okay, very good. Thank you. What about reading a person's emotion? or emotions, Pablo, I'm sure you can tell if you're dad or you're happy. Hey, mom is very happy today. Dad is very happy today. My teacher or my neighbor, someone is very happy. Can you read all emotions with all the people all the time, or is it difficult sometimes?
No, it's difficult sometimes because uh, we know that not all the people is the same, and not all the people have the same facility to show to show their emotions. So I think that in some cases it could be very difficult, but in other cases that the person is more open with this topic, it could be easier for you read their uh, their factions. Um, I don't know. I think that in that point, it could be very interesting how some people could read different facial expressions and how the people react to these readings.
Oh, okay, that's very, very interesting. The comment that you're making is truly interesting. Do you think it is possible to read the emotion of a person only from the facial features or characteristics, or you also need to move to take a look at them, their gestures are, how they move their arms, the body language, the posture. Is it enough to look at the face? Also, you need to look at their manners, their movements, their gestures with the hands, the arms, the body language, the posture of the body.
Yeah, sure, we know that it's possible. Of course, that depend of the person and depend of the environment that you are, depend of the perspective that you have, because, like I said, there is too many people, and each head is a different world. I think that is the correct expression, and not all the people have the same facility to show you their real factions or their real expressions. And maybe because if you are going to talk with someone in a certain moment, maybe he's going to answer your questions very happy or something like that, but in their feelings. Maybe he's sad or maybe he's worried about some situation that he has, but you are not going to notice that because you are just focused in some facial expressions and in his voice. So for that reason, I was saying that this topic is very complex, but we are trying to do it our best effort to understand it.
Very good. Excellent, excellent answer. Thank you very much, Pablo. Now a question, Sebas, a question which may not be easy to answer, maybe yes, maybe not. But some people hide, some people conceal their emotions. They feel happy and they try to hide their happiness. Or they're very sad, something happened to them, but they try to pretend that they're okay, I'm okay. Or they're very fearful, they are afraid of something, but then they pretend to be cool, right? They hide, they conceal their emotions. Why does this happen? What is the reason why some people conceal or hide their emotions?
Well, obviously, no, it's not a very easy question. It's a hard question, but in my opinion, it's because it's unconfident people, teacher. It's people that they didn't know what they want. They only do that things because someone more do it too. It's unconfident people and nervous people too.
Nervous. Okay. But do you think, Sebas, that is it okay to show the emotions? Is it okay to show that you're angry? Hey, maybe a young guy, an adult, a young adult who's 20, is beating up a kid that's 12, 13, and you say, hey, wait, that's not fair. I get angry. You get angry, right? Or maybe a car driver is eating an apple or a banana, right? And he's peeling the banana and throwing the waste to the street. And you say, hey, why are you throwing the waste to the street? And you get angry, you get upset. Is it okay? Is it legal to show your emotions? Are you entitled to feeling angry?
Well, obviously, it can depends of the context of the situation. Obviously, in the example of a young man of 20 years with a with a boy of 12 years, it's obviously not it's correct. Obviously, yeah, if the boy do something bad or very bad, obviously we have the right to show our emotions, but obviously it can depend of the context.
What is the limit of these emotions? Why sometimes it's not so good to have emotions physically, biologically? There are some suggestions that if you conceal, if you don't express your emotions, you can get sick internally, that it
Yes.
affects your body. What do you think about that, Sebas?
Well, obviously we need show our emotions, but not um we need have a limit, because obviously we are a very angry. If we get a lot of angry with something, we are going to with someone. I don't know. I um, kick Pablo in one example, or I say something bad to one teacher or a friend. I don't know. If we need to have a limit, we are angry, yes, but it not it sometimes it's not necessary to do that type of things. We need have that limit, but we need right show our emotions, but not but no we didn't we need to be a control very control person.
Very good, excellent, very interesting comment. Thank you very much. Now let's go to the basic emotions. According to this researcher, very famous and very talented gentleman by the name of Paul Ekman, uh, he devised 7 basic emotions. Do you remember which are these emotions, Pablo? Which are the emotions that Paul Ekman devised?
Well, I remember some of them. That was the anger, the fear, the mm, the happiness, the sadness, and I think that the and that are all that I remember.
Okay, one of them was contempt, the other was disgust, fear, anger, surprise, sadness, and enjoyment. So let's talk about them. These are the 7 basic emotions that we produce or develop according to Paul Ekman, the great researcher. Let's take a look at the first one. It says enjoyment. There are many situations that produce enjoyment. And Sebas, you were mentioning some of them. Can you reiterate them? Can you develop and give us an example, probably, of these emotions of enjoyment?
Yes. Well, the enjoyment. Well, it's some when you use some when you do something that you like a lot. In this case, play. I don't know. We play with your friends. You you like it. I think all persons like it. For adult too, it's a very good enjoyment. It produces a lot of enjoyment. Eating delicious food, obviously. Talking with your friends and staying with your family. I think staying with the family is one of the most important because you stay with them, you talk, you know more about them. Stay with your grandfathers, etc. it's a very good experience that.
Fantastic. Very good. Now, let me ask Pablo about the second emotion, the second basic emotion, according to Paul Ekman, and that is that of contempt, disdain. You don't think that action or that person deserves a lot of value for any specific reason. What do you think about this emotion, Pablo, the feeling of contempt, the emotion of contempt? When do you have contempt for something or for someone?
Well, with the situation that we have been described, I think that we feel contempt when I see when I can see someone arrogant. I think that attitude that I don't support. Maybe well, I of course that I consider one of the most important emotions that we could experiment. But I think that it's complex issue because maybe the attitude that it caused me contempt maybe it's not going to cause the same emotion to other people. But for example, I don't support the people that is very arrogant and maybe uh, I don't know when someone feels that they are superior than you just for their economic status, and someone looks down you. Uh, I think that are attitudes that cause me contempt, but
All
that I think that
right.
are exist, and the principal way to eradicate it is talking with them about what uh, they are doing wrong.
Oh, you mentioned something very, very interesting, Pablo, which is that a behavior from a person will probably trigger this emotion in you, but not in another person, or vice versa. This behavior of this gentleman or this lady will trigger a certain emotion on the other person, but not on you. That will make him really, really contentious. He's gonna despise this person. How can you do that? And probably I would say, I don't care, that's okay. Why this difference of reactions in people with the same behavior? Why do you think people react in a different way towards the same behavior? What's your opinion there, Pablo?
Of course, that the first point that is going to cause that kind of reaction is how are you transmitting the how are you sharing the message, because maybe someone is going to catch that message with a perspective, and maybe the other one is going to see it in a very different way. But maybe it's that maybe it's the message about what are you talking, what are you saying, how are you transmitting that emotions to other person, and depending on how are you transmitting is going to be how many people is going to hear you with the same way.
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No question about that. Let's then talk about the third feeling, or third emotion, which is that of sadness. Why people become sad, Sebas? What produces sadness in people?
Well, it's some reasons. One of them is behaving an atypical um, way and not being included or taken into account. Well, two, I get sadness when um, I do something and it's not that I want, um, or when I forget something very important and I need it in the moment I didn't angry and sadness. And I think all people have different forms to be sadness.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that this emotion, the same as the other ones that Pablo was talking about, have a degree of depth, profundity? Can you have, can you feel a deep, deep, deep sadness or superficial? Can it have different grades, different profundities?
Yes, obviously it have different grades. It can be something that you be sadness would say, okay, I can do it again. Yes, I can do it. And another can be that I don't know, you lose a family, you lose your pet, you lose something. That's a very sad moment. Obviously, it had a lot of grades, teacher.
Absolutely. Okay. Excellent definition. Thank you very much. Now, sometimes you get surprised, Pablo. You say, "What? What is this?" What are the situations that normally lead to surprise? That you were not expecting something, and sometimes it appears all of a sudden. It can be very nice. It cannot be very nice. It can be. It can make you stunned. What is this? It can give you a neutral emotion. What is this?
Well, of course, there are perspective of there are points of view that try to be neutral, but I think that normally the people that say that it's not very neutral because it's by nature that the human being create a perspective about something, about believing in something, and you I think that you can be very neutral in too many situations because you have to create a perspective about something, and how are you going to create your life about that perspective that you have, and if you are neutral, I think that you can create too many, or you can progress in too many things if you feel that you're going to be neutral in all the situations that it's going to present you.
Okay, very nice. Well, we have three more emotions, and one of them is anger. Sometimes we get angry for no reason. There is a fly off, Captain Fly, get away, or something, or it can be something significant, right? So, how do we produce this? How do we get this anger? What makes us angry, Sebas, please?
Well, we have different reasons. Obviously, a bad attitude, a bad day, a bad attitude of the partners in the work, in the school, a bad grade that your team lose in a game, and the work. Obviously, we get anger with our works. Um, for me, I hate I hate more the attitudes of my partners in team works because um, someday I work with in a team work. I say to my team, "Hey, I need can can you help us because a friend and me are working more and the other partners say yes we can help you and they are with their phone or playing something. I hate it a lot. I hate it a lot.
You get angry.
A lot of obviously teacher. I hate that of my partners.
Okay, yeah, that's normal. That's only human. All of us get angry for one or another reason. That's
Yes,
only
obviously.
human. Yeah. What makes you angry, Pablo? When you get angry, what really makes you angry? You're really, really upset.
Maybe when I don't have the results that I want, not just in the grades, maybe in other things that I'm doing. I'm sorry, in other activities that I'm doing. If I don't have the result that I am looking for, that cost me a lot of anger, because it's stressful too that you are fighting for something, and in the end you are not going to have the result that you are looking for. I think that it's one of the most important and dangerous emotions because it's going to cost you. No, this emotion can cause you too many problems, and you don't have control about it. But of course, that are necessary to have the balance in our life.
Excellent, very good. Thank you very much. Well, let's go to the last two situations that cause some emotions. One of them is fear. What leads you to fear? What are you afraid of, Sebas, in general?
Fear. Well, obviously, surprise exam. I had a very lot of fear of that. Um, when I am talking with new people, it's
Oh, really?
I fear. Yes, I get a lot of fear. And an interview like this, I get fear. I'm nervous. But I think with the time, I forget the fear. It's
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. When we're speaking public, well, tell you what, speaking in public is one of the events that causes the
Yes,
most
it's
fear for
yes
you, for me, for politicians, for
for all the
anyone.
people. Yes,
Yeah, that's truly, truly scary. Until you get used to that and you learn to enjoy it. You
yeah,
learn to, as Pablo was saying, to engage with the people, to generate this bond, this connection, and then it becomes truly comfortable. But at the beginning,
yes,
it's fearful. Yeah, you become very fearful, very scared.
yes.
That's very nice. But let's go to the last emotion that is generated, which is disgust. What is disgusting for you, Pablo? What do you say? Oh gosh, I cannot stand that.
Maybe when you are not when you are not included in some situations, uh, because anyone knows you, or just because you don't like your attitude doesn't like to other people. That disgusts me because I don't know if I have the problem or if the other people have the problem because I'm not very social, or maybe I am very social, but that's bad. That caused me a conflict. And other thing that disgusts me is that maybe I'm going to come back to the other emotion, that someone that is very arrogant is something that I don't like too much. And I think that could be the principal actions that I don't support.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to be able to stand certain attitudes of people, and that creates some disgust. Okay, Pablo, Sebas, thank you very much for your nice comments. Let's finish here. I'm gonna send you the link, but a very, very interesting comments from you, gentlemen. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thanks very much. Take care.